What's up, Amazing Race fans? We are back with another episode of Amazing Reviews. Joining me tonight is Calbert. Calbert, what's going on?
What's going on, everybody?
Goldberg as well. He's back for another episode. What about that? How about it? Goldberg.
2 episodes in a row. Defying all odds.
That's pretty impressive, actually. All right, we are going to be talking about the United Arab Emirates episode here. This one was a pretty interesting episode. It was called "It Smells Like the Desert." There's a lot to get to here, so let's start it off. At the start of this leg, teams were instructed to fly to Dubai, United Arab Emirates. Once there, teams had to travel to a Bedouin camp and select a release time. The following morning, teams rode camels into the desert to their next clue. Then we started off with this leg's first roadblock. One team member had to perform a tandem skydive over Dubai before reuniting with their partner and receiving their next clue. Pretty cool scenery there, I would say, with the camels.
Yep.
And then we got our first season's fast forward here. One team had to find an orange Audi e-tron, travel to deep dive Dubai, don scuba diving gear, and search the world's deepest diving pool for the award. And it ended up being Carson and Jack won the fast forward. What did you guys think of the fast forward challenge?
I felt bad for Han and Holden because they looked at damn near every other car but that one, which I don't know how the hell they didn't see it because it's orange. But
yeah.
They were close. They were close.
Yes. Yeah, I saw that. They could have had it easily. Goldberg, did you saw this episode, right?
Yeah, I thought it was super cool.
Mm-hmm.
What they had to do. I thought it was really cool. I'd love to go there.
Yeah, absolutely. Dubai looks like a blast.
This whole episode was blown away by what a nice place.
Yeah, no kidding. I thought this might have been one of the best episodes of the season. It's definitely.
I agree.
Yeah. Yep. Just a lot of cool things they got to do. After the first roadblock, teams found their next clue at Atlantis the Royal. Teams then had to add garnishes to an afternoon tea platter before receiving their next clue, which sent them to the Burj Al Arab public beach. So, how do you guys think you would have done with this, with the garnishes? And there was a celebrity chef there that was going to judge you. Calbert.
It didn't look too terribly hard because, I mean, there was the model of what they had to do was pretty simple. I mean, having the judge you, I mean, it's part of the Amazing Race. But, yeah, it didn't look terribly hard.
This is kind of the part where Pops and Jeff kind of fell off the wagon here, too.
Yep.
Well, didn't they drop it? Didn't they drop one?
Yeah.
They dropped,
yeah.
Had
to go back. They had it correct, and then they dropped it.
Right. I don't know that I necessarily. I think I would have been at the end of the pack for this portion if I was in the race.
Yeah, it kind of depends on who I would have been with.
Yeah.
If I would have went with my wife, then I think we would have done fine because she does a lot of cooking and stuff. But if I was with like one of you two, I don't know if I would have done really well.
Our friendship would have been in trouble. Okay, you can say
exactly. Exactly.
The only thing I would have been saying was, well, hey, at least Pops is behind us, so we should be okay.
Right.
That is true. That is true.
Pops just dropped his. We should be all right.
Oh. Man, Pops, though, he's like the model father figure you'd want, you know? He knew what it took to keep his son out of trouble, and he got him into a trade, and, you know, yeah, kudos to this team. They were a lot of fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Very.
I
was rooting for him, man. I didn't want to see him go home.
Yeah, no, I agree. So this episode did not have a detour. This was another roadblock. In this second roadblock, one team member had to surf on an e-foil past 3 bayous before receiving their next clue. Teams could have the same person do both. This would have been a blast, I think. riding that thing. I think I would have done pretty well on this. Because I mean, I'm in the water usually quite a bit. So maybe not as much as you, Goldberg, living by an ocean. Because I can only go in the lakes, 4 months out of the year.
Well, I've actually ridden an e-foil. So.
Oh, how is it?
Hard.
Okay.
Very, very, very hard. And when I was watching this episode with my girlfriend, I've actually got her watching the last few episodes, and I told her as soon as I saw an e-foil, I was surprised, and I said there's gonna be a couple teams struggling on this because it is hard, man. It is a hard thing to get up there and control it to the point where a couple teams made it look easy, like Han and Holden made it look, or I guess Han, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. She made it look so easy, but it is, for me at least.
I think Holden's the girl. I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, then Holden. Oh, wow, I wouldn't have guessed that, but all right. So yeah, Holden. She made it look super easy, but for me, it took me a couple hours just to be able to get up on that thing and like consistently be able to stand up on it. So I guess I would have been in the same boat as Jonathan.
Well, I think though too is she's a surfer already. She even said. So I think that kind of
helped. But you still got to learn how to control the remote. The remote is the hard part, because I'm telling you, if you stop, sometimes you start going so fast, like you think you're going too fast, and then you want to slow down and you'll let go of the trigger, and it'll stop short. And when it stops short, you just fall off immediately. You have to gradually slow down. Like it's tough. It's very hard.
When did you do this? By the way? Was this recent?
Yeah, over the past year. Yeah, I've had access to it, so I've done it numerous times. Where I work. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I thought the hard part about that was the trigger and the distance, because going to the last part of it was not easy. I would have struggled with it just like Pop's son did, like because we're so used to here in America. Okay, we're gonna go as fast as we can, ready, go, and to try and control it that way is not.
It'll tilt upward. The faster you go, it tilts up, and then you're like, I need to slow down. It's just, it is complicated, and also he should have taken his shoes off.
Yeah. Yes, he should have.
That's what we were commenting when we were watching this too. Like, why didn't he take his shoes off? Right.
Yeah, doesn't make sense. If you're going in the water, you're taking. I don't care what you're doing. Your shoes are coming off.
Yeah. Well, even Josiah, like, he had a pretty big lead, but he struggled with this thing quite a bit.
He did. He blew the lead, didn't he? He blew it.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I think Erica did it. She did well, if I remember correctly.
She did. That was obviously the right choice. Could you imagine Melinda trying that?
Right.
Yeah. I think quite a few teams struggled on it, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, obviously Jonathan. Yeah. But I don't know. This looked like really fun, but yeah.
It is fun.
There's a fine.
Once you get up there, it's fun.
I only do jet skiing, so I can't comment on an e-foil. I'm sure my dad, though, if there's an e-foil up in Mercer, Wisconsin, he'd be the first one to get it. So he's a little older. He just buy it. So yeah. No, I can imagine if you fall the wrong way. You could hit your head on it, or.
Yeah, I've seen someone cut themselves on it, like on the side of the board. Like it could be rough.
And you got to worry about sharks too.
Yeah, where I'm doing it, not really. Yeah, not really any shark. But then again, it is the ocean, so you never know. But.
Right.
But I guess where they were, I don't know. I think they were doing it shallow enough that they don't have to worry about sharks.
I think that'd been all right. But you're right.
To me, I don't know. I'm assuming it was in the ocean. So, yeah, I don't know what kind of sea life they got over there. But, yeah, I don't know. After the second roadblock, teams had to travel by taxi to the Mall of the Emirates metro station, and then by Dubai Metro to the pit stop, the Museum of the Future. So this is where things got kind of crazy with Pops and Jeff. They were there first. They just didn't think they had to go on it, or they thought it was the wrong one. I know split-second decision cost them
right. They missed it. That's partially what happened, is that they missed it. They missed the train to go, and then they had to wait. And in that process of having to wait for the next one to come, the other team caught up with them, and then it was literally like whoever gets to the mat first is going to win.
Yep. That was Nick and Mike.
It was Nick and Mike. Right.
Yep.
Right.
That's just crazy, and obviously they're going to be able to outrun them because Pops.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Well, but Jeff had his arm in the door.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that the door didn't automatically open.
Right. I think he was nervous that it was going to get chopped off.
Yeah.
I still thought they were editing it to the point where they were making us think it was close, but once I saw Nick and Mike come up those stairs, I knew it was the end of Pops and Jeff.
Yep.
Because they were never going to win a foot race. And to Pops' credit, man, he really tried.
Yeah, he gave it an effort. He really did.
And I think like the first half of the race, like the run to the finish line, he was hanging in there. But then you could see him laboring when he was arriving to the finish line. You could see how slow he was going. And I guess it turned out he was hurt too or something. I think I read online he was injured or something. So, but really, he really gave it a great effort.
Yeah, he did. That was. I mean, you got to respect how they ran the race. I mean, they did. I had them actually in, like, with our preseason predictions, I had them going out at 4.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I just thought, like, with their lumberjacks and the way, they were in good shape, I had them at 4. So I had.
Well, how about the confidence of Pops when they were on the train with Nick and Mike, and you can see one of Nick or Mike, I don't know which one it is, who's puffing on his inhaler.
Yeah.
And
yes,
Pops and Jeff are looking over, and Pops is like, "We're good. We got this."
Yeah.
Like, just the confidence on that guy, like, it's pretty admirable.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. So, for this episode, first place went to Carson and Jack. They moved up 1, but they also had the fast forward, so didn't really have a struggle here. 2 was Han and Holden. Like, let's talk about Han and Holden, because we haven't really talked about them. Me and Calbert had them going out pretty quickly. Like, we were kind of, we saw last season with the young brother-sister team. So we were kind of like thinking, well, then, I think, Calbert, you may have had them going out like right away. First episode, even.
I had them going out third. I mean, just to show you how much I didn't like Pops and Jeff, because I thought Pops was just too old. I had Pops and Jeff out the second week, so I got that wrong. But yeah, Han and Holden are Lucky Rabbit's Foot, winning lottery numbers, whatever they're using, it's working. So I was wrong. That's pretty much going to be the title of this season for me, is I was wrong. So.
Well, I mean, I was kind of jobbing Lori and Mark quite a bit, or Lori and Scott.
Lori and Scott, right.
Yeah. But they were actually a pretty good team, even though they did go out relatively early. Still, they were pretty strong. I'll just say that. Third place was Alyssa and Josiah, remaining consistent from the week before. Fourth place was Brett and Mark. They went down 3 spots. Fifth place was Jonathan and Anna. They moved up 3. And sixth place was Melinda and Erica. And obviously seventh was Nick and Mike. And unfortunately, Pops and Jeff finished at 8th, moving down 4 spots. So
where did you guys have Melinda and Erica from the beginning?
Oh,
towards the bottom.
Maybe 3rd episode.
Yeah, because I would have had them in my bottom 3.
Yeah, towards the bottom.
Yeah, they were kind of a surprise hit, but I think Erica was a pretty good racer, actually. Like, put her with somebody else, who
I agree with that. However, I also think we'll get to her, but
yes.
Han and Holden are I think came into their own in this stretch run right here, where they they were like they were flying under the radar for the first few episodes and they skated by. They kind of gained a personality in these last couple episodes.
Yes, they have.
They became characters, right?
Yes,
a little bit, especially the guy. I guess Han.
They're competitive and they'll scheme if they have to, as we've seen.
They tried.
Yeah,
they tried.
Mm-hmm.
They got screwed over.
Mm-hmm.
I'm watching this episode right after this we record, but
no, you saw the one where they got screwed over. Well, we'll get to it.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I don't know. United Arab Emirates. What did you think of the episode, Goldberg?
I thought up until this point, it was my favorite episode. Just based on that tight finish. It was an exciting finish. I love when the finishes are actually legit and not edited to make you think it's, I love when someone's on the mat and someone else walks up. So I really enjoyed this episode, and the country was beautiful and everything. So for me, this was like an 8.5.
Yeah. Calvert, what was your
score? I gave it an 8 just based off of the skydiving alone. I mean, you didn't even have to go in the water. I mean, just the imagery of the entire place was really cool. I gave it an 8, and then you throw in, oh man, it's a foot race. I mean, how often have we always said, and Goldberg, you can add this too, we always want a race to the finish at the mat, right? That's about as pretty close as we can get. I mean, over the last 30 plus seasons, so I gave it an 8.
All right, and I'm gonna give it a 9. I think it was almost a perfect Amazing Race episode. The only thing that we were missing was a detour, but I didn't mind the double roadblock. So that wasn't bad at all, in my opinion. So I thought they did a really good job at this. So plus you had the fast forward in there. So yeah, I'm going to give it a 9. So it was really solid episode. So any final comments on this episode? Maybe Pops and Jeff, any last words for this team?
They did better than I thought. I got to give them credit. They really did.
I was sad to see them go.
Yes, they were. I think they would probably be fan favorites. So, all right, that'll do it for Amazing Reviews episode 6 recap. We will be back with episode 7.